Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well on this fine fall if you're American, autumn if you're European day. In this I'll be continuing my exploration of Anzio, the Italian campaign by Avalon Hill, where I'm playing both sides solo, and in this episode I've finally caught up with all my prior ones which I'd recorded earlier and then uploaded one at a time. So I'm now hopefully going to be error free. Okay, so errors that have been created are isolation, especially with the garrison. I didn't mark it how long it was isolated for, to the point that I'm not sure it should have been eliminated before we continue. Mud rules dotted around everywhere. I've missed the one that there's no air support. So, main one was no air support. I got the point of movement points and such forth, but yes. I've previously made an error with strategical movement, that if a unit starts in the zone of control, can't do strat move. So, I think that's most of the biggies. I've obviously made little mistakes as I've gone through. Oh yeah, the really big one in the last episode was the New Zealander unit, which has that different colour. And I actually sent it behind the German lines. He took German replacements until I realised, whoops, hence the title was Kelly's Heroes, as in they were behind German lines and nicking stuff. So yeah, I'm going to leave a permanent green marker on that instead of putting it on occasionally, to remind me that that is an allied unit. So hopefully I won't do that again. Anyway, enough of this waffle. You want to see the board. So if you're at this point, remember to hit the like. It's good for the algorithm, good for the channel, promotes the channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you enjoy what I do. And comments, as always, I will respond to them all. I enjoy receiving them. So any that you would like to add, anything you say, oh, he's done that wrong again, that's fine. The aim of the game for me is to A, get this right, B, enjoy it. Well, actually, A is enjoy it, B, get it right, and C, hopefully you guys enjoy it. Or should that be A or B? In fact, they're all about the same. So, without any further, let's get down on the map board. And as you can see, I've already sort of pre-marked the colours for the various strengths. So I can actually work out what is worth attacking and what's not. Also, the first thing we're going to do with the allies is these cards. As you know, using this is to keep me surprised, to see if there is going to be that second invasion. So I'll give the cards a little shuffle. Okay, and now we'll draw one. So number 9, there's no invasion this turn. Remember, I'm looking for a number 1 to 4 in this deck. So there could, there was 14 cards in that deck. There's now going to be 13. So there's a chance that there won't be an invasion. There's also a chance that there will. So that means I've now kept some units here for the allies ready to invade, and I might add a little bit more strength to that, but it also means I've actually, there's the invasion features, the 3, 4, 1 and 2. So if any one of those cards comes out, boom, in they go. And as you can see, I've had to keep some Germans back from there. It's just to keep. The big problem with me a lot of times when I'm playing solo is I know what this left side is going to do and the right side is going to do, and it then kills the suspense in a way. Whereas now, well, I have no idea. Which I like. Okay, so the allies get 2 replacements. They're currently on 3, so they get 2 more to make that to 5. There it is. And they've still got quite a few replacement counters here unused. So they can take losses. The Germans at the present moment have 1 replacement that they haven't brought on. They'll get 2 more at the beginning of their turn, but yeah, it's... And the Germans, to be honest, have got quite a lot of their replacement counters in the front line. So as we go down the front line, the current strengths are that yellow cube is sitting at, well, it's got 9 combat strength times 3 because it's behind the river and on a mountain, makes it 27. The purple has got 7 times, it's got a strength of 7, it's times 2 because it's on a mountain, plus it's got a fort, so that takes it to 14. Blue, strength of 9 times 2 takes it to 18 with a fort. Orange, 5 times 2, again in the mountain, which equals 10, and then you've got a fort there as well. White, 9 combat strength, and it's got no mountain, no fort, so it's sitting on a nice 9. And then the red, which has got a combat strength of 10, again times 2 before being behind the river, and that's 20 plus a fort. So to me there's 2 obvious weak points there. That's the orange and the white. And then remembering the green is the allied unit that likes going behind enemy lines if someone's very forgetful. So let's zoom in on that area of the front. Okay, because I think that might be where we can make headway. This is turn 10, and there are a total of 15 turns, so they've got effectively 6 turns to take 1 more objective, the Allies. So they need to push, and I'm going to zoom back out again just a little bit, showing where the objectives are. That's where the X's are, just in case this is your first video, and please go and watch the other ones. And if it's not, just as a reminder. So there's 4 more. I think that's it. Yeah, there's 4 more. They've currently got 4. There should be 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where am I missing one? It got off camera, Anzio. So there's the 5. You know, you've got Rome, Anzio, whatever this one's called, Terracina, Casino, and one right at the top of the map here, which is Pacina. So any one of those and the Allies will win. So hence why 3 of them, or 4 of them, are actually close to the beaches, aren't they? With Casino being right bang in the middle. Anyway, so I was going to zoom on that northern part of the map there, so let's do that. Okay, so as I say, white has got a strength of 9, as denoted by there is an armoured division, an infantry division. Okay, but they're not sitting on any mountains or rivers, so that to me looks like it's quite vulnerable. And then the orange, which is also has a fort in the mountains, but it's only 1 infantry division. So the case is, can I get enough strength for the Allies to actually crack that line? Remembering, if you move it in a zone of control, you must attack it. Also got to remember there's mud, so I've got to think of mud movement costs. Also, when you come to a river, such as here, you can't just move over. It takes a turn, so they would have to stop, and then next turn they can move on the other side. So across the river at the present moment that could attack is the New Zealand division and these 2 Americans. Also, if you come down this tributary here, you could attack. So if this Allied unit could go there and there, because it's crossing over the end of the river, wherever there's an official term for that, headway of the river. So these Allied units here could move down this side of the river and bring into attack. However, then you've got the mud costs because there's no road. So that would be 4, 8. They could get there. Also got to remember stacking, because sometimes I do, and I think it's down to the glasses, because that number on them is really tiny, really tiny. So it is difficult sometimes to see the stacking values of some of these units. Okay, so we're going to make this the target, orange. That's 10. We want to get as much strength as we can there. We've got in this hex starting here, we have, he's got a strength of 5 and a stacking of 5. So we can get 3 more US. Unfortunately, the US are strength 4. Stacking 4. So the US divisions aren't going to help because they are strength 4. But this guy, anyway, will get down to that mountain. So it's going to be 4, 8, 12 to there, which is as far as he can go. So we can get one of these British armoured units onto there. So again, 4, 8, 12. Well, that's that hex fully stacked. And we know each of these armoured units, again, because it's in this rough ground, will actually only get 1 less on each of their combat strengths. So that's going to be 4, 5 in that attack so far. The mud hurting the armour. Okay, this is the New Zealand unit, so he could move into there. Though we might want him to move elsewhere. Might need to do a soak-off attack on this unit here to get another unit in there. Though, yeah, we can't go there to there. Again, zone of control. We've got any other units that can get. So it's 4, 8, 12. These guys can't get into that hex. Right? 4, 8, no, it's that unit's quite vulnerable though. So I will put that marker back on to remind myself. So I'm going to take that New Zealander into there. And then we can get some 4, 8, 12. That's 2. Now I'll tell you what, we're going to actually send them in there. Again, stacking. 5 stacking points. 2 is 7. That's the maximum I can stack in there because of the foreign units rule. I don't need to keep that on there because there's an allied unit on top, but I'm going to keep it close just when I do separate them. So from an attacking point of view, that's again 5. That's only 6. And you're never going to get big odds in this game, especially with a solid defence line, which I sort of put up for the Germans. Now these 2 American units, that's 8 stacking points, can definitely come in here. So it looks like I'm going to focus on the white over here, which has a defence of 9. I've already got, as I say, 6 there and 8 there. You can't get any more strength involved in that attack. Can't bring this unit here because then he has to attack that, but I need to get him across the river. So I could go for a, it's not worth it. Let's start moving him across the river. And just off camera here, let's bring that up. Okay, so I don't want to push, I don't want to go into zone of control. So I'm going to leave him. In actual fact, we could probably leave him there, guarding the road. And we've still got... I'm going to take this guy and bring him back to Sicily. Oh, can't, there's no port there. I haven't actually put a port counter. Well, I suppose I can move by the road. He can strap moves. He moves all the way. And if I zoomed out, he's going all the way down to the port in Napoli and then comes off and joins the Sicily garrison. Because I can bring up this unit. He's going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. Can't go there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's going to sit on that hill. Do we want to put another unit in there? Just as a garrison. 4. Oh, better check that's not the deep brown. It is actually, can't do that. That is an Alpini hex. If you move from one hex in Alpini to another, that will be, are you crossing the hex side? That's all their movement. So he'll go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we can't get to over there. Okay, because I want to put him on the river, so he's getting ready to cross. Can't get any more involved in this attack here. So attacking orange has got defense of 10. We're actually attacking it with 5. So 4, 5. So 1 to 2. We've got to take up soak-offs. We've got to take a soak-off here so we can get a decent attack. I'll say a decent attack. It's not even that great, is it? It's 6 and 8, 14 to white's 9. 1 to 1. Well, we've got to, this is the only way. This is where the game represents the campaign. Against this blue position, blue being a defense of 18 and a fort. No can do, but we can move up to it or near it. Can't go obviously into its zone of control because then we have to attack it. So getting more units behind the breachhead is probably a good idea because then we can attack with a bit more strength. So I'm assuming that dark brown there is not crossing the hex side, so he can go there, okay. So that's 4, 8, 12. I didn't actually move this armoured unit. Wow, he's got a stacking of 5. He's supposed to have taken heavy losses. Let's pull him back. It's a big stacking. It's got to be 3 away from the enemy. So we're going to pull him back to here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Can only take 1 step of replacements per turn. So no matter how many replacements you stick on him, that's all he's going to get. But we're about to start building him back up. So I'm going to bring a few more allied replacements. He's a British unit. Again, I wish they'd have done the colours slightly different. Was it back in the day? Was it just a shortage of dye? Ink? Don't know, but it does make it a little bit frustrating. Okay, I'm not going to attack anywhere along this front. It just seems, I know I need to make these Germans bleed a bit, but that's a bit right. he's going to move to the road. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and go in there. Not great, but hey ho. We have got 5 replacements and quite a few off board. So yeah, I'm leaving that, so that green counter to remind me there's an Allied unit, a New Zealand unit that looks like a German unit. Okay, a 1-2 and a 1-1. Can't use any air. That's not great, is it? It really isn't. I mean, if we, let me zoom out a little bit here. Okay, obviously there's the dice. When we look at the combat results table here, if I can get that in focus. So at 1-2, best result is going to be 1-1 each. Allies retreat. And yeah, we got, but I mean, if we roll a 6, that's going to be 2. As it's in a mountain, that's going to, yeah, it's going to be doubled that. 1-1, even a 6 is a disaster. But that's the maximum I can amass. Yeah, it's not great. So, what to do first? I think we'll do the 1-2. Okay, can I? Oh, I can't reach. Little arms. So I'm going to bring the dice tower here. 1-2 with a 1. Best result. So 1-2 is 1 loss each. Not too shabby. Okay, so the Allies had to take a step loss on their largest unit. Again, that's a little house rule. The largest combat unit involved must take the first step loss. If multiple losses, then you can choose after the first. And the Germans have only got 1 unit, so I downgraded their actual divisional strength in that hex there. So, yeah, a few losses. That suits the Allies because they can replace those easier. And then that was a 1-2 attack, and now we have the 1-1 on that hex there. So 1-1 with a 2. 2 not too bad rolls. 1-1 with a 2. Not too 1-1. So that's 1 step loss each. Dramatic breakthroughs here, guys. Not. And that's the nature of this particular game. So let's move the dice tower out of the way now. Oops. Thank you very much for your participation. Okay. So no retreat. The largest combat unit, so that was the German Panzer in that hex. So that's the 26th Panzer Division. Half the fun is finding the counters on the sheet. So let me pause. Okay, so the New Zealanders took the step loss. I suppose one advantage of the colour is it's easiest to find on the Allied display. I'm not searching around. And the German Panzers took a step loss. So the degradation was 1 strength point for the Germans and 1 strength point for the Allies. A whole week for 1 strength point. Wow. No movement in the front line, though there are more Allies across that beachhead. Bridgehead. That's it, combat-wise. I did the replacement here. So that's taken its first step. Replacement counter here, taken off map board. And put that back, I will zoom out. Change this 5 to a 4 to make that counter available again. Mud. Yeah, no air. Oh, the other thing I was doing wrong with the air, there's the maximum air support you can bring in into any combat is 1 for each side, not 1 per counter like I was doing it. So yeah, that was again pointed out by one of you guys making a comment, which is useful. So here's my cup of tea. As written on it, it says unbelievably hard, which it is. Let's go back to me. It's a slog. It is a slog. You just cannot get enough odds to make any significant. I mean, the Allies really rolled well, 1s and 2s. So equal losses for the Allies in the end. That's what attritional combat. They got more replacements and such forth. But they're not able to stretch the Germans. Am I doing something wrong? Should I be attacking everywhere down the front and taking massive losses on the Allies? I don't know. So the first playing. So any of you guys who are experts on this can say, no, you should be attacking all the way down the front, you know, into those mountains where you're going to be taking double losses. That's a good point. Double losses. I didn't do that. See? Little mistakes. The Germans will take 1 loss, the Allies will be taking 2 losses. Let me go back and adjust that. Yeah, for the attack on the orange division in the mountains, let's get the historical context. The 94th German Division in the mountains incurred an extra Allied loss because it was in the mountains. Oh, moving too close to the camera. I hope it's not too scary. So what I've done, the first loss was taken on the main unit, yeah, and the second loss was on the small little armoured unit, which has now become inverted, so it's now an inverted counter. Yeah, got to remember, double losses. The other attack didn't attack into mountains, and there was no doubling of the terrain, so therefore there was no doubling of the losses. So didn't get that wrong. So caught it before the end of the episode. Just a little observation here. I mean, we're talking about 10 pages of rules here. And I used to play ASL. And I'm still playing Great Battles of the American Civil War. And those rule books are subsequently harder than this. I'm not sure why I'm making these little mistakes. Maybe it's, is it an age thing? Who knows? Maybe it's because I'm doing this, talking, moving pieces, and camera, that my brain's going doing multiple things. So, but I caught it before the end of the episode. So anyway, until next time, like, subscribe, comment, you know the drill. Bye, internet.